If your bully has yeast and you're feeding this, or even this, you can actually be making it worse. And most dog owners don't even know that they're doing it. So let me break down yeast and its physiology in real basic terms, because that's all you really need to know. So what is yeast? Yeast is nothing more than a single-celled fungus, and yeast feeds on sugar. You also need to know that starch becomes sugar. So it's important to know what are starchy foods. Now, this sugar leads to inflammation, which weakens the dog's immune system. And the weaker the dog's immune system becomes, the more of the yeast outbreak and growth you're going to have. The steps are real basic. You got sugars and starches who become sugar that will lead to inflammation that weakens the dog's immune system. The more weakened that immune system is, and the more inflammation due to the sugar, the more of a yeast outbreak you're going to have. Let me give you some golden insight. You could apply it to a vet, to a breeder, to anybody. Most people want to treat yeast on the outside. However, those that really know that the correction happens from the inside. So next time you go to your vet and he's trying to sell you spray and this and ointment and this and that, everything for the outside and nothing for the inside, that should be raising a red flag. I'm going to go over the 10 most common yeast feeding foods and where you might find them. Number one on this list is none other than white rice. White rice is a starch. As soon as it hits the blood, it becomes sugar. Number two on this list is oatmeal. Again, it's a complex carbohydrate, so it takes longer, but the minute it hits the bloodstream, guess what? Becomes sugar. Corn. Corn is an inflammatory filler. Okay, dogs weren't meant to eat corn. And in fact, you already know what I'm going to say. As soon as the corn hits the bloodstream, becomes sugar. You're going to find corn as one of the main ingredients in cheap kibble. Next on this list is peas. And peas is another hidden carb bomb. Okay, you're going to be finding this particular ingredient mostly in grain-free dog food. So they're going to get rid of the grain, but they're going to hit you with the peas. And that's nothing more than a carb bomb. Next up on this list, potatoes. It's a starch, becomes sugar as soon as it hits the bloodstream. Next up on this list, which is more nutrient filled and a little bit better, but it still becomes sugar when it hits the bloodstream, none other than sweet potato. Next up on this list is wheat. A lot of you are feeding that cheap kibble that includes wheat, which is one of the main ingredients within that kibble. What wheat does is it'll irritate the gut enough to even make it leaky. If you have a leaky gut, you're going to end up with yeast. Next up is dairy. And dairy actually disrupts the microbiome. That's nothing more than the germs inside of the gut that actually break down food. Also, dairy has lactose, and lactose is a sugar. And I already told you, all sugars feed yeast. Number 9 on this list is none other than cheap kibble. You already heard me mention all the times they include corn and they include wheat and many other ingredients that are high in sugar like rice and even oatmeal. The problem with cheap kibble is that all these ingredients are usually there together along with others, and they create a super sugar spike. And you already know that feeds yeast. Number 10 on this list is sugary treats. And I'm including all fruits within number 10. All fruits have fructose, which is fruit sugar. Sugar feeds yeast. Did you notice a pattern? All of these we just mentioned become sugar inside of the dog's body. Most people don't know how to read dog food labels. And in some instances, I've even found dog food labels being purposefully more confusing than they had to be, making people have to rotate between one ratio to the next. I decided to make it easier for you, and I built an app that does it for you. All you got to do is take a picture of the food labels. It will scan the ingredients for you. It will flag yeast-feeding foods, and it helps owners make better decisions. It's called the QBN Kibble Analyzer. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the description. In combating yeast, food is step 1. Step 2 is balance. NuVet, the green bottle, is going to help support the immune system, create a stronger skin barrier, and antioxidant protection. You're going to need all this to be able to fight yeast. But it doesn't stop there. NuJoint DS is going to reduce inflammation. It's going to speed up and help tissue repair and improve joint and connective tissue health. Think about it for a minute. When inflammation goes up and the immune system comes down, that's where yeast thrives. This does the exact opposite. It reduces inflammation and helps increase the immune system. When that happens, yeast has nowhere to go. All right, listen to me closely. Yeast is not really the problem. I know you're probably asking what, but yes, yeast is really not the problem. The problem is the environment inside of your dog's body. You fix that, you're going to fix whatever yeast issue your dog has. Once you understand that, then you understand you still need to bathe your dog and you need to do all those things. But to truly get rid of yeast, you need to get rid of yeast from inside of your dog's body. So I'm sure I didn't cover certain specific foods. Do me a favor. Drop the foods that you're feeding your dogs, and I'll tell you if it feeds yeast or not. I need you to be specific now, but let me know what it is, and I'll tell you if it's a yay or nay. Just keep in mind, if you balance the dog, the yeast will disappear. If you're currently dealing with yeast, and this is the first step as far as eliminating foods, and you actually want to take it to another level, you want to know what to bathe them in, and also what food recipes you could actually feed that doesn't feed yeast, make sure to click on this next playlist. And don't forget to save this video. It's been Raul from the Cube. I'll be catching you over here.